Hello! So I got a request about a week ago to see how I made my Death the Kid brooch. I think it was from someone who is called Notara Yuki, and I'm going to show you how to make that today. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this is Death the Kid's brooch. So as I mentioned before, I looked everywhere online for one of these and just wasn't satisfied with what I found, so I decided to make my own. Sorry for weird camera angles, I just moved and I seem to have misplaced my tripod, so everything will be done by hand. Sorry if it's a little shaky, but yeah. Alright, for Death the Kid's brooch, it took me about 3 tries to get it right, so I can definitely show you how to do it a lot quicker than how long it took me to actually make it. The first thing you're going to want to do is get a foam ball like this. You can get them at any local craft store. Some places sell them in several different sizes. Just get the one that you think is going to fit best on your shirt, as you can see. I would recommend getting a smooth one. I know that they do have rough ones, and those can tend to be a little bit messier than what the smooth ones are. So what I started out with was I took this foam ball, and as you can see there's a line down the middle. I used a box cutter like this, and I cut it in half so that pretty much got half the circle, which is this headpiece here, if you can see from the side, is half that foam piece. Once you cut your foam piece in half, what you want to do is carve out the eyes and the nose, which I did by box cutter also. You can also use just a blunt edge because foam tends to tear away pretty easy. If you're having troubles getting the size, what I did was I found 2 different size caps, and what I did was I placed it on the foam ball and I traced around it with a Sharpie, and that gave me the circle that I needed to cut out. Don't go too deep, otherwise you're going to go through the foam, which you don't want to do. Just give it a good centimeter in, no more than that. Once you get that all shaped out, the foam ball is cut in half and it's got the eyes and the nose. What you're going to do is you're going to use clay to cover it. And it's very important that you get air dry clay, because if you get oven baked clay, it will never fully dry on you, or it will dry really funky. So air dry clay, because if you get the oven baked clay, you can't stick foam in the oven without it exploding into flames. So get air dry clay. Crayola sells a pretty decent one. There's some other like high-end ones, but those are more for like pottery. I would just get the cheapest one because you're not making anything that you're selling. For one thing, the easiest way to apply the clay to the half of the ball would be to roll it out flat and then lay it over, kind of like you would do with fondant on a cake. And then just smooth it out and kind of press some more clay into the holes until they get smooth. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take a chunk of clay and you're going to attach it to the ball underneath the nose. And then you're going to use either a box cutter or a kitchen knife, whatever one, and cut like 3 triangles out of that chunk, and then just shape it to what you want. It's really everything is done by hand. When I did this, I had a picture that I looked off of, so I recommend having some sort of picture to look off of while shaping those 3 teeth, as I call them. After I did that, I let it dry. The air dry clay usually says about 24 hours, I think. But what you really want to do is I would let it sit for at least 2 days, because if you paint it before the clay is dry, you're going to get a bunch of bubbles under it, which I had a little bit of issue with, but that's a good way to get rid of it. Just let it dry for a while. Patience is a virtue, so. The thing with the clay is, with air dry clay, it will crack, as you can see where mine cracked. I kind of like the cracks because it kind of gave it more of a, you know, skull effect. So I mostly left the cracks in there. If you get really big cracks, what you can do is, after it's dry, take some more clay and fill in those cracks that are a little bit too big for your liking, and let it dry again. So once it's dry, just kind of see if there's any like mistakes or something that you want to fix. But once you get that figured out and everything's dry, what you want to do is you want to paint it. What I did was I spray painted it first, the whole piece, and then I went over it with some metallic paint. This gray metallic paint. It's very important that you get metallic, because when I pictured Death the Kid's brooch, I always thought it was a big metal piece, so I wanted it shiny. So if you want it shiny or if you just want it gray, that's totally up to you. But I used a shiny metallic gray color. I think it was called copper. You can get it in any store, and it doesn't have to be the most expensive paint. Again, it just has to be like academic, elementary paint. Once you get that whole thing covered, then what you do is you go over it, the eyes and the mouth, with black acrylic. This doesn't have to be metallic. The stuff that I used wasn't, and it turned out alright. It gives it more of a really depth feeling if you don't use a metallic, because it looks deeper that way. It's up to you, again, if you want to make it metallic or not. Then, as far as once you get all that done, for attaching it to the back, I made a mistake and I didn't cover the back of it completely with clay. I would highly recommend that you cover the back of it with clay. That way you can attach one of these to them a lot easier than what I had to go through. The foam disintegrates under any type of hot glue or regular glue, and even spray paint can sometimes disintegrate foam, so I would highly recommend covering the back. I made that mistake, and I might go back and fix that. What I use for the attachment right here is a little piece like this. It's flat on one side. You can put stuff through it or glue it. And yeah, it's like a, I'm not sure what they're called, but it's like a safety pin, just with a latch. You can find them anywhere. They come in packs like this. So, yeah. So that is Death the Kid's brooch. It's not too hard once you kind of know what you're doing. It's a lot of waiting for dry time. So, as far as my costume went, this probably took the most out of all of it, because I had to try it 3 times before I got it right. But if you have any questions, I know this was kind of a quick tutorial, but I'm not gonna make an entire new brooch because I already have one. But yeah, if you have any more questions, just let me know and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. Alright, thank you. Alright, so I just showed you how to make Death the Kid's brooch. If you're interested in making your own. I hope the tutorial helped out the people that asked, because it's kind of tricky when you don't know what you're doing, and I would know. If you have any more questions, let me know. If you want to see anything else that I make, or if you have any other projects that you just need help on, let me know, and I will see how I can help you. But yeah, good luck with yours, and go Death the Kid.